Let me get straight into this. You can be the most brilliant person in the room, but if your language is filled with filler words and subservient phrases, your influence is going to get lost. In fact, research shows people form opinions about your confidence and credibility within the first few seconds of just hearing you speak. And most of us don't even realize that words like just, I think, does that make sense? Are quietly diminishing our power and our influence. Hi, my name is Nada Lena Nasserdeen and welcome to Rise Up For You TV. I'm the founder of Rise Up For You, and my team and I get the great honor of working with individuals around the world, leaders and entrepreneurs, to enhance their communication, their influence, and their emotional intelligence. And today I'm going to show you how to eliminate the habits that water down your voice so that you can speak with presence, precision, and power. Let's get into it. So first, let's break down the difference between subservient language and filler words. Subservient language sounds like, I just wanted to check in, sorry to bother you, but I'm not sure if this is right, but does that make sense? It's the language of apologetic communication. And it comes from a good place oftentimes, wanting to be liked. Maybe you want to be polite or you don't want to seem too arrogant. But here's the problem. Every time you minimize your words, you're signaling that your messaging and your leadership might not be worth listening to. Have you ever been in a meeting and heard somebody consistently use subservient language? It doesn't mean that you're not qualified. It just means your delivery is working against you. And in order to create influence, to create change, and really be the leader you're meant to be, we need to bring down subservient language. Influential communicators are intentional with their language. They don't beg for permission. They command attention with clarity. That's subservient language. Now let's talk a little bit about filler words. What are filler words and what are some common ones that we use typically? The ones you're using that you don't even know you're using half the time. Like, I think, maybe, and I'm completely guilty. Now, here's the deal. One or two words is not going to break you. It's not going to hurt you. In fact, sometimes I even get a little like in there that sneaks in. I'm from California. Sometimes a dude will come out randomly. But when they fill your sentences, they clutter your clarity and they weaken your credibility in your message. So influence, it's not just about what you say, but it's also about how cleanly and confidently you can say it. I always say, trim the fat, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. So why is it that so many individuals tend to speak this way? How come there's so many individuals and professionals in particular that use subservient language and they use filler words? Why is that? Well, one of the reasons why is our nervous system becomes overloaded. When you're anxious, when you get nervous, as you know, public speaking is one of the biggest fears for individuals, even if it's just in a meeting, your brain starts to scramble for connection. Filler words become crutches to avoid silence. Silence can be uncomfortable for people, so we try to fill in as much as we can, even if they're nonsense words. And subconsciously, we might feel a little bit insecure. We're smart, but we want to seek approval still. We want that, external validation. But the truth is that if you want to lead, you've got to stop hiding behind foggy phrases and start trusting the power of your words, because fogginess is going to create discomfort and a lack of clarity in the individuals that are receiving you. So let's break down a few strategies. Now, as I mentioned, my team and we work with individuals, entrepreneurs, and teams around the world. We're in over 50 countries, everything from Fortune 5 companies down to local entrepreneurs, teaching these very skills. In fact, I speak on stage in front of thousands of people every single week. And here are some of the tools we share. Number one is trim the fat. Before you speak, cut the fluff. So, for example, instead of saying, I just wanted to quickly check in and see if I maybe say, following up to confirm. You see, that one shift alone moves you from timid, unclear to direct and professional. Being assertive is okay. Another strategy is just owning the silence. A lot of times we get uncomfortable with silence, especially in a meeting. So we feel like we have to say a bunch of stuff to replace the space. But in actuality, replace fillers with silence. It's a great practice. So pause instead of saying and like. Having a little bit of pause is okay. Silence shows that you're thoughtful, that you're not nervous, and that you're not rushing through things. In our Success Academy here at Rise Up For You, we train speakers to use what we call the 3-second pause to increase authority. Try it one day. Now let's talk about strengthening your statements. So instead of saying, I think this could work, you see that think lacks credibility. Try saying, here's a strategy I recommend. out. Instead of saying maybe we can try, because that maybe is not clear and assertive, try saying let's move forward with. See, removing that doubtful language helps you show credibility, and it establishes you as the expert and as the leader in what you're doing. Now let's talk about apologies. How many of us have apologized for just sending an email or apologized for asking a question? Now it's time to drop the apologies when they're not needed. Now, I'm not saying don't apologize at all. If you do something wrong, please apologize. But stop saying sorry for everything, especially when it's not needed. You don't need to be sorry for sending an email. You don't need to be sorry for speaking up in a meeting. So try saying back pocket phrases in terms like, thank you for your patience. I appreciate your time. Here's what I need from you today. That's influential communication without giving your power away. That shows credibility. That shows confidence. It shows professionalism. And this is how we want to position ourselves when it comes to speaking and communicating. Here's a quick exercise I want you to try. So wherever you are at home, take a pen, a pencil, or maybe just even in your mind. I'm going to give you a sentence and I want you to rewrite it in a more professional, influential way. Here's the sentence. I'm not sure if this makes sense, but I just thought maybe we could try a different approach. I'm not sure if this makes sense, but I just thought maybe we could try a different approach. How can we rewrite that to sound like a leader? Here's an example. I'd like to offer a new approach. Here's why I believe it will work. Boom. Clean, clear, confident. That's how influence is built. One sentence at a time. It's not going to happen overnight, but with just some of these tips that I provided today, it'll help you be more confident, more clear, own your presence, be precise, and really step into your power. So remember this, every time you speak, you're either reinforcing your power or you're giving it away. If you're ready to speak with authority, elevate your leadership and your presence and influence in every room you walk into, this is the work that we're doing every single day, and Rise Up For You is here to help. So if you're interested in anything I said today, or if anything resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your community. And lastly, if you're anything like me and you're hungry for growth, you're hungry for that next level of leadership, click on the informative link below. Have a call with my team and let's see how we can support you and or your organization in these skills that are so important. Again, welcome to Rise Up For You TV, and I'll see you next time.